Welcome back to PCM Yeti episode 127. Last season, we had 3 5-star guys until late in the year that became 4. At the start of this season, we had 8. We doubled that number with the new signings that we had and the new availability of finances. But that number has already grown further. Just 3 months into the season, Jonas Bammer has become the latest. Now, the only unfortunate part to him becoming the latest is he literally comes in at 9 of 9 in terms of like that decimal. So he just made it to that 5-star. But he's got plenty of room still to grow, even though he's not predicted to go any further than the 5 stars he has. So in theory, he's not going to reach 5.5 stars, even though he's got a lot of potential left. But looking at the profile, the breakdown, the web-wise, like obviously he's got a lot of climbing still to come, some top speed, a little bit of cobble rating. But the biggest area for improvement is that mountain rating. And it shows. He can climb 81 medium mountain now, and a 78 hills will make him very, very effective in the right profile. He's got 74 stamina, 77 recovery. He's got decent resistance, even some time trial, and so actually almost even the right profile will really suit him. But with a 60 sprint and 68 acceleration, it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to pull victories, but he can be very effective for us. One thing though is he's just got this 72 mountain rating, so when the climb is slow and arduous, he's going to struggle. When it's more fast and furious, he'll do well. But it's not all good news either as we head to the Ronde van Vlaanderen here in a second. Alftamar, one of our best cobble rated guys, a 77. And of course, as most of you know the calendar quite well, very, very soon after the Ronde, which of course is heavily cobbled, and then, of course, also punchy. And he's not that punchy. Not a very good climber. Not the best race for him, but he's still going to miss it. But more importantly, right after that is Paris-Roubaix. And that 77 cobble is the best we've ever had on the roster. Probably the best chance we had at a top finish. So, incredibly disappointing that we are missing Alftamar, but what's the saying? 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Yeah, the other step hurts even more. He might only be our 8th best rider on paper, but he's also number 2 in the rankings. Matthias Vacek has broken a collarbone in the last about week and a half or so. And the 5-star wonder kid of ours who had a terrific 2/3 of last season is out till the end of May. And he is one who has a cobble rating and is punchy and was 100% our best shot at getting a decent result at the Ronde. Not good enough to win. The Ronde was going to be out of reach, but it's a lot further out of reach now than it was a moment ago when we're down 2 of our key guys for that race, as well as with the 74 cobble rating, definitely not the favorite. He would have been more of a support rider, number 3, number 4, maybe number 5 type option at Paris-Roubaix, but we're missing our number 1 and our number 5 option for that, where for this one, we're missing the reversal of our number 1 option in Vacek and maybe our number 5-ish option in Alftamar. Either way you look at it, either way you mirror that, both races are taking a massive hit on our chances. And where we've started the year 2 for 2 for our 6 major monument plus ones, I think our next 2 are doomed to fail now before they even began. Now, not that we had great chances for either, but this was going to be the first year we had any sort of chance for them, and both of those greatly weakened. Well, our second step back has just become a third step back as we go to begin this race. Our draw can't get much worse than it was. With the absence of a couple riders, it lowered us down from what probably would have been somewhere in the neighborhood of a plus 18 or a plus 20 on the expected race day condition. Weather might have knocked down a point or two for a few of the riders as well, especially if they were on the edge in between. But we are all the way down to a plus 13 on the expected. What we got, however, was only a plus 6. The primary reason for that is Luke Ortiz drawing a literal -5. He was a plus 1 on his expected, so he couldn't draw any worse. Sorensen drew a -3, so our best climber, who's not very good cobble rating wise, but our best climber takes a -2 amazingly. And I think in part it's because he's got a 98% fitness right now. It's prologue downhill, Barradour rating that were primarily impacted. -1 to stamina, -2 to resistance. So really lucky there. However, obviously, add 3 more points to that race day condition, even at just a +1, and guaranteed there would have been some positive numbers somewhere, and probably something like a cobble rating. It could have been easily impacted in the neighborhood of, a +2 or a +3 for the day, giving him a chance to not be leader, but to hang in a lot longer and support whoever the leader for the day would have been. But who that leader is for the day, well, there's only 3 guys with a positive race day condition, even though all 7 of them had an expected in the green. All of them had a +1 or better for their expected. But Bammer, he's not even going to be a protected rider with his +3. He can climb, but his cobble rating is quite poor. Quite poor. And for the moment, and I'm still on the fence about this one, 81 on the stamina, 68 cobble. That's that 74 cobble rating, though, and punchy. That gives Montez the edge. I think I'll have to stick with Montez as we hit our first cobbled sector of the day. Short and sweet, but here's the second one right after. We'll have a nice little gap before we get to the next one. I think we also need to get water for the first time today. We'll do that now. So with Bammert, the 4th rider, Montez, the 3rd rider, that leaves us with 2 leaders in Tadome and Lind. Tadome's got a +4. Now, he is not cobble rated, but with that +4, he gets a +5 to it, giving him a 72. Plus, he can climb and has a bit of punchiness, and then definitely has a good stamina resistance for today, a good flat rating for today, making him a leader. And Lind, well, he's already our strongest guy without Fatsec here. He's got the best stamina, pure, today with a +8. He's got an 87 in that department. We need to bring things on down as we're about to get into the first real stuff of the day here. Slow it down a little bit. But he's got the flat with a +4. He's got the 74 cobble with a +6, giving him an 80 today. Could really hang in that department. The hills side, the punchiness for the last bits of this thing is Ortiz punctures. He did finish water at least. Will he? He got going again. He got going again. Pace isn't too bad right now, though a few riders did get dropped here, and he should be able to get back up in position. Anyway, back to Lind. 79 for that hills rating, right? That'll be great. The worrying part for him that still could end up seeing Tadome take over as the leader of the day, or Montez and Bammert, well, really more like Bammert and Tadome, is that Lind, even with the great race day conditions, still only has a 70 mountain and 70 medium mountain. The rest of his ratings are great, but none of these guys have what Vatsek would have offered us with a +3, 4, 5. It is what it is. We move on. We're now at 118k. We need to get water at least one more time. We just got it recently, and Ortiz is back up in position, so we're good there. Lind, I don't like your positioning too much at the moment. Why don't you move forward, reset that? I think I had stopped moving him forward a little bit too early in the earliest rounds. Yeah, now he's holding with his teammates. Speaking of holding with teammates, we're about to enter this next phase where it's going to get a little more challenging, so hanging on becomes a little more important. The Ronde, of course, offers a lot of difficult cobbled sectors and a lot of undulation. And most importantly of all, it offers difficult cobbled sectors on the undulation, on the climbs. And that is what makes it a very special race. It's not Paris-Roubaix for me. I think Paris-Roubaix ranks above it in my own viewpoint as just the ruthlessness and the quantity. And what is it, 32, 33, 33 cobbled sectors, something like that. This is nowhere near the number of cobbles, but it's the ruthlessness of the climbs with cobbles that makes this race pretty dang special, and probably puts it right there at number 2 on the monuments for me. Of course, as we noted, it is these 2 races that we are likely going to struggle in with the absence of 2 of our top guys. So far, so good, except for Ortiz and Sorensen, actually, for that matter, who are definitely showing the signs of their poor race day conditions as more riders do slip out the back. We're down to 159. The number gets smaller and smaller. Oh, never mind. They just got back on track for a second anyway. 3 minutes to the breakaway of 9 riders. That's definitely shrinking. I have a feeling those guys are going to lose a couple of their riders somewhere in the next cobble sector, or maybe the one after at the latest. They'll blow up and be down to 1 or 2 riders at maybe 2 minutes ahead. This one's 2 stars, but it is a climb. I think I'm okay with my 78. Ortiz, now's the time. I think he's a little too tired to be the one getting the water, though. Let's send Sorensen instead. 73K is a little far out, but this is the best period of time, right? Things are going to get crazy and hectic, and speaking of, here's half a dozen plus riders, almost 10 riders attacking, including Pedersen. So we are talking about favorites that have tried to go off the front here, or have gone off the front. Suddenly the Peloton's down to 40 riders, and now positioning matters a lot. Small group, can't afford to slip back. Also, not too interested in chasing at this point. We are far from favorites for this race. I'm a little hopeful of the work and effort of others to give us some sort of chance in this one and hang in there. I will not be the aggressor, as 2 of those guys have already been dropped by the attack, the extreme effort, and the Peloton's actually shrinking yet again, even though it had contracted down to about 40 there for a moment. Too late on Ortiz, as here we go, it's on, folks. 3 stars, and climbing, and skinny. Oh, and Lynn, no, come on. Seriously? Terrible luck. Our rider for the day punctures. And then there ends up being a split that sees 4 of our 6 riders left in contention in the chase group instead of in the main group. And it's going to protect to Dome. Okay, these guys need to increase the effort and start moving up. Sorensen Gel. So far back. This was a devastating 5 kilometers for our race. Lots of splits. Our key guys going backwards. Through bad luck, mostly. I mean, these guys drifted a little, even with the increased effort. Bamert going Gel. Montez back in contention, apparently. Back up there, Montez. Sorensen's not going to be able to help you. Let's go wait for this rider. Recover a little energy. He's already back in the group. He went back half a bike length. Half a bike length, and he'll go right out the back. Okay. Gel. Lind. Keep riding, keep riding, keep riding. Oh, hey. Gosh, at a 98 and I roll up to a 99, what does it do? Give me a 78. Back in contact? Yes. Alright, 23. Chasing a group of 26, including G and Lind. Oh, these guys aren't in the Peloton anymore either. That's 20 riders just ahead of us, right there. They're right there, but... And Montez with a 95 lost the wheel of Van Dyke and Leknesund. Bamert, ride. Montez, protect. Tadome, ride hard. Oh, what could have been? What could have been? He's too far behind. I just need to put them on auto and see if he can do something, if he attacks that group and makes up some ground, but I just don't see that happening. But there's all your contenders, 26 of them. Bamert gets us through there, and now we're on to Montez, and we're going to have to follow. Said we're not favorites, and I don't want to ride, but now we have no choice. So it's race over if we don't. Lind, I don't even know how to get you going. There's such a huge gap. He's got no chance. He's got absolutely no chance. That's why he just needs to sit on. Montez sits up because these guys go to take a turn, and then instead they just ride off and lose the gap. I mean, Montez was slowing up. It looked intentional. Now he comes forward again. So we are catching some of those front guys. Let's check in how bad the race situation is ahead of us. Watson's definitely going backwards. Van Gils, Leknesund, those guys we were in contact with. And then there's your 18 leaders with 2 left off the front, just as I saw coming. Tadome does not have a whole lot of energy to do something. And we're going to get to the base here, and Tadome's going to have to ride pretty hard through this sector and try to go forward. Makes his way past 4 riders, leaves that other group behind, past 6 riders, and makes contact with this small group. So he's very much now into the smaller elite group that remains, but plenty of these guys, all sorts of split up. 8 chasing the 4 favorites. There's your 4 favorites. Alvarez, for now, is a favorite. Are you kidding me? With a 73-73? Mikkels, Lescano in contact, and Van Aert trying to get in contact. Ramirez, Healy, Garcia Cortina. Oran's going backwards. How far back are we? There's Tadome. There's Tadome. Okay. I need to make contact with these 3 guys so that we can ride together, because the guy behind me is not riding hard enough, and we need to... There we go. Ease off now. It's 22 kilometers. So we'll sit on... Yes, there is enough guys in the group that somebody's riding. Oh, and now we're coming up on another difficult 3-star and uphill. 7 riders now. We'll sit on this time. Definitely not going to ride forward. Tadome hanging in there. He's doing okay. They're making more forward progress as these guys have sat up. Okay, we can recover later. We can recover later. This is forward progress time. Forward progress time. Latch on to Vermeersch. Vermeersch is fantastic. That's Van Aert. That's... Wow. Tadome's made that much forward progress. We're into a top 10 position. It's Mikkels. It's Lescano. It's Alvarez. Alvarez 3rd. Van Aert 4th. Vermeersch 5th. Tadome is 6th on the road. Tadome is 6th on the road. Can he hang on to Vermeersch's wheel, though? It seems to be catching. We're going to try to latch back onto the wheel there. We lost him in the final cobbles as it stretched on a little beyond the visible point of it. Another 3-star sector here, but we just want to latch on is all. Vermeersch can carry us forward to a top 6 if we can hang with him. Lind. Okay, he definitely made his way forward quite a bit and still has a little bit left in the tank, 16k to go. We'll check back in with him shortly as Tadome is hanging on with Vermeersch and catching Van Aert. Oh, Sorensen with a puncture. Montez, my bad. Okay, so we got ahead of Vermeersch. We're now sitting 5th on the road with Tadome. We got to just keep riding, I guess, at this point. Hope that Van Aert sits up a little bit so we can make contact and then sit on. And Lind, I think Lind might even be in the top 25 at this point. Okay, we've been caught by the guys behind us. We will sit on. There's 3 teammates there. They can do all the work. It looks like we might catch Van Aert as well if Tadome can get a little bit of recovery in here. Heart rate, there we go. Lind, hey, okay, so 4 ahead of us, 5 in our group, that's 9. 4 behind us, that's 13. Lind in the 12 behind that, so he has gotten his way into the top 20. Lind needs to sit on as well, 4K. Gel. We're 3K from the end, but Tadome has nothing to sprint with. Alvarez wins. Guaranteed he's got a +5 for anything like that kind of performance today. But right, 1.5K out. Tadome does not have much energy to sprint. We got to go pretty late with this. Got to go pretty late. Now we go. For 5th place. We just got a top 5. Lind, you're late to the party, bud. You're late to the party. That's gonna hurt his top 20 or just 20th. I think he's gonna just miss it. He does just miss it. Lind, 21st. That's still worth a few points. But hey, we got a top 5 after that, right? No Vacek, no Alfdemar. Lind puncturing at the literal worst time, and we get a top 5. And we were very much like Tadome was outside of the top 20 when the group separated. He was about 25th wheel out there. So to recover for 5th was fantastic. And with no teammates around in sight as all that chaos ensued over less than 10K, and all of a sudden he was alone. Good result. Not a win, though. Not a win, but I'll take a top 5 for that. It's a good performance for us. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.